Yeah, we should be able. Do you have echo coming through right now?
I don't, but I don't know if I should. It won't let. It says are we recording?
Whoa, we're recording. We're live.
Oh, hey, are we here? Hello, hello,
Hey,
hello.
everybody. And welcome to Intangible Commerce, where we do not know if our echo is canceled or not.
They're just wondering, was that like a setup, like one of the funny little like, hello, anybody there, or
Yeah,
is that,
yeah.
or was that
This is.
real? I don't know. I'm not gonna say.
I'll be in the camera going. Okay, is it good now?
We
Is
all
it
good.
good now? Is it? Oh, hey, your hair looks great.
Yeah,
Oh, I
thank you,
took
thank
mine.
you. Yep.
Man, oh man. Well, Dave and I were just having a riveting conversation about e-commerce growth, and I started to bring up a topic because you guys don't know this, but we meet in the room before. And we're like, what are we even going to do today? I have no idea. No,
There ain't no telling. There's no
no
telling
tell.
what will happen.
We could go anywhere with this thing. And
Yep.
we're talking about the job market. So interesting thing. When I was in high school and junior high, couldn't wait to get my first real job, right? Get out there and get to work. Want to start making some money. Because you kind of grow up with that. It's focused on earning money, earning money, earning money. It's coming from the generation of they were raised by the folks who went through the Great Depression. So that's, hey, you have the opportunity to work, you work. No matter how much you're making, right? That has shifted quite a bit. And I think about, to segue this into why I was talking about in the first place, my daughter got a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, and the 16-year-old is wanting to start working, but I'm not wanting her to.
Hmm.
I'd rather she focus on her studies. I'd rather she focus on her AP in English, her algebra advanced 3 that she's getting ready to go into physics. She's doing all these things. I would much rather her A plus all that than bring home $12 an hour trying to
Hmm.
bust tail to school and work.
I agree. That's a hard transition for kids these days to figure out. I like you wanted to work almost immediately when I was younger. And in fact, interesting enough, my very first job was for a large auto parts uh, distributor slash manufacturer, I guess, that was doing. I worked in the warehouse doing the store fulfillment. So the
Mm.
stores would because you didn't have e-com fulfillment really,
Mm-mm.
but they had orders that would come down and we'd pick them for the stores to send out to the stores for their stock.
That is
And
interesting.
yeah, so anyway, to go back to what you were saying, yes, I wanted to work, and then my kids, they both do work, but you're right, it's the hard, college slash job, and I'm not so sure anymore that. Yeah, call me weird, but I really think that some people still need to consider a trade market too, or trade job, only because some of these, as we get into some of these conversations, some of these jobs may not be there or may be
They may
getting
not.
quote unquote, I hate to say replaced, but enhanced, if you will.
Enhanced. Ooh, enhanced.
Hmm.
Augmented. I
Hmm.
use the word augmented.
Yep, that's
That's
right.
one of my, that's a Rayism.
Arrayism augmented.
Augmented that. Let's
Hmm.
the augmented experience, or let's unpack that. I say that all the time.
Yeah,
It
unpack
just
it.
makes sense. We're unpacking things. We're fulfillment people. We
That's
unpack.
right.
We know what that
Unpack.
means.
Yep.
Well, so in some ways, I think that I'm not alone in me saying to my kids, "Hey, you guys don't need to work. You have
Right.
plenty of time to work. I'd much rather you get good grades, be smart." I do this thing. I tell people this all the time. They think I'm crazy, but let me explain. Every A they bring home on a report card, every single A they get paid for.
Hmm.
They get paid for every A. It's $100.
It's good.
It's for a kid. That's a good amount of money. It's every year. If you bring home a full A report card, that's like $600-700
Hmm.
per year just for getting good grades, and
It's
and
good.
they really love that. Now, what is that going to do for me? All my kids are straight A students. They are motivated to get those A's. They focus and they get their studies done. I don't have to pressure them to do their homework.
Hmm.
They do it on their own. They want
Hmm.
that money. So I'm paying for A's, but also academic scholarships. It's going to open the opportunity for grants and all these things. My kids want to go to some crazy schools. So they need to, they want to go Ivy League, and I love that. They're motivated for that. They understand the benefit, the value of that. But at the same time, if I'm not alone, if I'm like a lot of other parents, then I feel like I'm pretty average in terms of myself and parenting and life and all that. Is that removing a large amount of labor force from the jobs that the burger flippers, the retail ops, the things like that? Is that fueling the e-commerce growth in a way that, because that labor market is now shrinking, as we become more focused on long-term goals than short-term earning?
Yeah, and it is interesting that those jobs have to be filled, but at the same time, I went to last weekend, met my dad for breakfast, and we were at McDonald's, and I walked in, went to the kiosk, ordered food, sat down. Someone brought
From
me my
like
food.
a
Yeah,
computer thing? Yeah,
yep,
okay,
yep.
okay.
And I have no problem doing that. And someone did bring it. Now, someone did have to cook it. I don't know how far off we are from who really needed to touch any of that in reality. I mean, again,
We're not far.
I'm not saying I'm pro taking those jobs away, but to your point, if I can't find that labor, the company will find a way to produce the product and get it to me.
Absolutely. And things that you still will need. And let's go to that augmented experience then. The things you would still need, if I take the example of a McDonald's, right? Someone still needs to put the fries in the fryer or load them into a hopper. The machine can then say, based on my current order volume and what I've produced, I need more fries. And it can do so far more efficiently than a human
Yep,
who's got a million other things going on. The
yep.
cooking of the actual food, it can put a patty, it can build a hamburger, a cheeseburger, etc.
Hmm.
It can make pancakes. There are already machines that do all of this, all of this.
Yep.
The thing that we would need, the actual bring it to the human, that makes sense. Let's have a person do that, right? That's customer service with a smile type thing. Having a robot bring it out is not as efficient right now as just hiring a couple people to go
Hmm.
do that. What does that do though? Probably creates one of the most efficient, most profitable McDonald's on the market, because it's consistent, it's fast, it's efficient,
Yep.
and it's low cost in terms of labor. So that model is going to be more successful. Does that create, where we think of now, one McDonald's serves one area?
Hmm.
Well, what if it's two? What if it's three? What if these McDonald's are closer to different communities now?
Hmm.
They can be smaller. They don't
Hmm.
have to be as big.
Yep.
You don't need as many people. The footprint's smaller. It's local neighborhood market. You can
Yep.
probably even walk to it
Yep.
half a block away.
I think what people don't realize is the stuff that they get on a daily basis, if they order anything e-com wise, there's a chance a human may not have touched that, except
Yeah,
when it left the building, potentially. A chance.
yeah,
I'm not saying it always, because not everyone's automated, but as you and I both know, we've seen it. Things can be, the order out comes in automatically. It's sent to the warehouse. It's sent to a robot who then picks it. I mean, no matter the pick method, that you could name it, and it can do it. It
yeah.
boxes it up, it weighs it, and it puts a shipping label on it.
That
I mean,
that is happening in like you said, small select few. It's
mm-hmm,
not very common.
mm-mm,
But like I've always said, and I shared a Forbes article with David earlier, and it depicts the growth of e-commerce from now to 2026, and we're expected to grow to $8.1 trillion in sales
mm,
by January 2026. Currently sitting at 6.3 million. So the growth of, or trillion, I'm sorry, million. The
million. What are you
growth,
in the
I have
40s?
no idea. I have no idea where I'm at. I went so far back on this calendar now. But if you think about that, think about where you are as a business now. If the market itself is going to grow to over 20, just over 20% of
Mm-hmm,
GDP by, well, no, since 2020, yeah, no. We're expected to hit 20.8% this year, expected to grow 10.4% in 2023. That is a freaking huge amount of growth. I mean, that is
mm-hmm,
insane. The companies that are struggling now for labor, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to
The
do?
right. And the cool thing is, and again, with I'm not a warehouse operator, at least not anymore, and I haven't been in that market in so long from that side of the house. But if you watch the way some of this labor can be attained today with the labor on demand, that's pretty slick if you think about it.
Yep.
Being able
Well,
to
when it
ramp.
works,
Well, that's true, and there is a downside to it, but think about it. Even in the last, I'm going to throw out 10 years, where before you had to go get the temp labor and train them, and you were lucky if you found them. You had to use a service, and you had to have a contract and all this stuff. Now you've got your phone and an app, and you're like, okay, I need 10 people, done.
done.
They already know what they're going to make. They show up. I mean, that's changed everything. Now, are they good? I don't know. I mean, maybe they are. You can look at it and see, but
Hit or miss, hit or miss. But they
yeah.
have like it's like an Uber rating, so you can kind of
Mm-hmm.
see.
Yep.
There's a few companies I won't name them because they're not friends of the show yet, but we do
Right.
welcome
They
your
might be.
we do welcome and extend a welcoming hand to
Yep.
anybody that wants to
You can
sponsor.
be. You can be.
Business contact information is attached in every
Yep.
episode. Let us
Just
know. When you think about what's going to happen, so if I have a 10% labor shortage today and I am spending a lot of money to constantly retrain because I can't keep this 10%. I'm not efficient in my warehouse processes, and I'm going to set you up for a Lodgewood commercial. You're going to
okay.
have 13 seconds to talk about
Okay.
our sponsor, company we love, Lodgewood Warehouse Management Software. But if you think about me as a seller, I'm struggling today to keep up with sales. I've got a growth number I'm looking at. I'm expected 35% or some even 75% or 300% growth. At some point, I'm going to start getting bad reviews because at some point, I don't know when, but at some point, you're not going to be able to keep up with it. You're going to have slow ship times, wrong product. Your
Okay.
customer service team is going to start bursting at the seams because you aren't efficient, because you don't have labor, and because your current system or software is set up can't do robotics.
Mm-hmm.
David, is there a solution on the market for this problem?
You know, I think there is, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So, Lodua can help you be efficient, but also can make your warehouse run like a fine oiled machine.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? No, really, it makes a big difference when you have the right solution in play. And I think what folks today need, in my 3 seconds I have left in the commercial, is to walk in stress free to an operation and go, I'm going to get all my orders out. And Lodgewood does that.
makes you efficient, helps you to do your job better, and it has the robotics integrations. We're working right now with we'll work with anybody for one, but we
Yeah, that's
have
the main
certain
thing.
products that we already integrated with and we love. In Locust Robotics is fantastic. Six Rivers is another good one. There's several others out there, but it's augmenting that experience. You know what's funny? When you go into a warehouse that has these robots, they have names. They have
Hmm.
like name tags. You've seen
Mm-hmm.
that, right?
That's
They,
semi creepy, but yes.
I mean, but like the staff are the ones who named them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Where's Jimmy at? Oh, Jimmy's taking
He's
a
over
taking a
there
break."
picking.
Yeah, right. Have you seen it too? When you go in there during the Halloween time or
Oh, yeah.
Christmas, and there was a I'm touring a warehouse right with a client, and I see this Santa Claus hat coming down an aisle. Right, it's a forward pick, so it's short aisles. I thought it was just a tall guy in a Santa Claus hat. Come around the corner, it's a robot. They put a Santa Claus
Mm-hmm.
suit, a full suit on
It's
him
funny.
with the hat and everything. He had a beard, the whole get up.
I
Santa
mean, might as
Claus
well
running
have
around
fun
the
with it.
warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, have
Is
fun with it. It's reality. It's going to happen. I do love
there's
going into warehouses that do have those, though. It just makes me happy. Where years ago you were always like, I don't know about this. Now it's almost like, okay, I
because
get
it's
it, and
not
these people
taking
get it.
jobs. It's
No,
augmenting the experience they already have. In the statistics, people grow. Your company grows faster because it's more efficient. It's
right?
not that it's like, oh, we're gonna not try to ship 1,000 more units a month. No, they
Hmm.
are going to ship 1,000 more. You're going to continue growth. You're going to continue hiring, and you're going to continue bringing in more robots to augment and assist in that experience. It
Yep.
just makes things better.
Well, the other thing is people that aren't in the market look at that, and you just said it, where they go, it's not taking jobs. Well, technically, it is taking jobs of people that don't want the job anyway. In other words, the company can't find, they literally cannot find people to work in certain markets.
Yeah, the labor's
It's not
not there.
there.
It's
Just
not
because you want
there.
to work here in Dallas, if somebody in California needs you, well, go ahead. Good luck. Go move them because you can't help
Yep.
them from here.
Here in Louisville, it's like that. The companies struggle now. The hiring itself has slowed because of the recession, but that this is an age old problem that I've not heard it for just this year or last year. I've been hearing this for 4 or 5 years now.
Hmm.
It's not getting any better. When you consider the growth rate of e-commerce and the shrinking labor, right? Labor has somewhat come up and down over the years. But think about
Hmm.
these things. You've got a line down here that goes up and down, but one up here. This alligator arm is the labor market. It's not there. It never existed. It didn't exist. We're growing so fast in e-commerce that
Yep.
the labor market we demand doesn't exist.
No,
The only solution is robotics.
that's right.
You have to. You
And
have
I,
to.
yeah, and I say this on probably almost every episode that you do not see me worried in my face about my job because it makes us more wanted in that environment because we hold the answers. I say we, I'm saying logistics people in general, especially on the supply chain side,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
any one of us, it could be anybody, but especially on the software side, I have the answer to that problem, or I can, you know what I mean? Where, certain other things you can't just labor at it. I can give you solutions
Right.
to help with that.
Right. Yeah. No, no, exactly right. And that's the thing too. The robotics in this market, it's still very new.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of opportunity for someone to go out there and be specialized in warehouse execution systems and robotics and be an absolute game changer for
Hmm.
their local community in
Hmm.
education, in facilitation of different robotic softwares and systems. It doesn't have to be this closed-minded thing where, oh, you're going to take my job. You seen South Park? They took my job.
Took her jobs.
Took our jobs.
So you know what the robotics? That's hilarious. The robotics industry and price. You know what it reminds me of, and this may have nothing to do with it, but go back 10 years, 15 years. Remember if you had a DLP TV, how rich you were?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna brag, but I had
You
one.
got
But
one of those?
no, seriously, if you had a DLP TV, I mean, that was serious. My parents didn't have one. Like, what is that? Well, then you fast forward, it got into 1080 or 720, 1080, 4K, 8K, whatever. Well, now think of the TV market. Any Joe Schmo can go out to Walmart and get a 4K TV for $300.
Yep. Yep.
What? It's like, how? Well, the market just changed and evolved, and I think that's what'll happen
Yep.
with robotics. 10 years ago, no one had it. It was too expensive. Oh, I don't understand it. You watch in 10 more years, everybody's gonna have a
I've
$300
said
TV from
this.
Walmart, which is a
I've
robots.
I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it again. The ecoms of the world who get involved in robotics today will succeed in 5 to 10 years. The
Yep.
ones who refuse to adopt it and don't will hit a wall, and they will not grow as quickly, and they will get overtaken by the smaller fish that they don't care about today.
They're going to
They
get beat
will get
out by their
overtaken.
neighbor.
They
Absolutely.
will.
In fact, that's how I like to end any sales call I'm on where it doesn't really feel like they're going to buy. It's like, hey, it's no big deal. Maybe your buddy down the street will buy it. Dun dun dun. You know
Leave
what I
it to
mean?
Dave. Leave it to Dave
No,
to
I don't.
put the
I don't do
pressure.
that. I don't threaten. I'm
You
too
guys should
nice.
check out my other channel called Selling SaaS, where we talk about no BS sales process.
Hmm. Don't get me on that. I'm kidding.
There we go. No, but you're right though. That's exactly what it is. It's if I'm adopting efficiency, I have a competitive advantage. I can deliver a lower price than you can because
100%.
you still are trying to hire and train 15 people 12, 13 different times
If
in a year, and I'm not.
That's if you even get the stuff out on time, because you only get one chance to make. If my
Yep.
delivery's late,
Yep.
I'm done. I mean, I expect it 2 days, one day, whatever it is, same day. You miss that a couple of times, sometimes only once, done. You know.
Unless you've got a big customer service department, or if you stoop down and you buy one of those offshore CS teams where it's like,
Hmm.
the call center types, and they're not all bad. There's still a lot of really good ones in the States
Absolutely.
that take the time to learn about your product, but there's a ton that are just overseas. There's not a lot of English, and it's difficult to communicate with them, and that's a bad experience
Yep.
from a customer
You
because
know,
you
it's
already think
funny.
it's a scam. You
Oh,
I'm getting
exactly.
scammed. I'm getting
Exactly.
scammed.
I was going to say that it's funny too how what we think about our buying experience. So I ordered something on Monday afternoon that I expected to have Tuesday because I was going to do something with it. It was a car part that I needed to do some stuff with. I've got a project going on. Well, I know if I order by a certain time, I already know it comes from local at the warehouse here. I could go pick it up. It's just too far. It's not worth it. Well, then it changed the shipping. It said, oh, now it's going to deliver Wednesday. Now I don't know what happened, but something happened where now it got
So
delayed a
yeah,
day, which didn't really matter necessarily, but it did throw off. Okay, well I can't do that now. I got to work on something
you
else,
can
and it's
change
just
all
that
your plans.
yeah, just that 1 day delay. But it goes
That
back
is
to
an
that point
interesting
of
thing. We've gotten so used to relying on that delivery date that we sort of plan our life around. Like in this case, you were going to plan some time to work on the car.
well, it's true. And think of it like this: did they have so many orders that they just couldn't get them out that day? Where if they had
Maybe
robotics, they could have. I don't know.
somebody you need to call and ask them
Sounds like it.
hey, which robot did you
Who screwed
use?
that up? Was that your Ray robot that messed that up?
Probably was. If there's a robot called Ray, you guarantee it's going to mess it up.
It's the one wearing the Santa hat during the summer. I'm like, come on, Ray.
Bro,
Some Christmas.
hey, what do they call that? Christmas in July sale,
Mm, mm.
Follow
That I don't mind.
me down that road.
Uh-huh. I don't mind that at all.
Man, yeah, a lot of really good, interesting shots we've taken today at the market. I think it's really the takeaway here is consider the warehouse management software you're using. Is it extensible? Will it take you the next 10 years? Products like Logua will. We're doing it now for all kinds of folks. Love the program. Great team. Also, the companies who aren't involved in robotics now, if you have any questions, concerns, if you're listening, all 10 of you, I'm going to bring it up to 10 this week. All
Mm,
10 of you we've grown four
wow.
listeners from
Feels so
last
good.
week. Oh, it's amazing. All 10 of you. Well, reach out to David, the Yarborough man, and myself, and we'll be happy to chat with you and just run through because we have experience with a lot of different robotics. There's not just one type. There are so many options on the market, everything from loading trucks to picking
Hmm.
pallets to grabbing packages. There's
Yep.
so much.
There's a ton out there, and we see them all the time, and we're going to a ton of trade shows, and we stay on top of all that, keep our brains sharp on all
Keep
that
it
information.
sharp as a tack. And just for everybody listening, confession: I still have not made it to a Costco.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't been out there yet.
We're waiting for
I have.
your GoPro moment when you go in there and video it. It's
I
gonna
can't make
happen.
any. They'll
Stay
probably
tuned,
kick me
right?
out.
You got to keep.
Stay
Who
tuned.
cares?
Stay
That's even
tuned.
better. Ray
This,
goes to jail.
yeah, yeah. I'll record it and then play it on the podcast live,
You
and
will
everybody
get
can see I
viewers.
was there.
We will up. We'll be at 100 viewers before you know
We're
it.
gonna 100 if we do a live Costco. Hey, I want everybody to comment, like, or wherever you're seeing this, the word Costco. If you want me to do it, I will. I will go and I will GoPro film my Costco experience.
Yep. Yep. It'd be awkward, but you can do it.
Oh, I love it. I live for awkward. Well, that is it for this week. Thanks everybody for hanging out with David the Yarborough man and Ray the Costco Roberts. Appreciate you.
Yes. Good times. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers. Have a good one.